Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for AWS Certified SysOps Administrator Associate. You can download the complete list of AWS-based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on SysOps Administrator Associate is: how do you automate AWS infrastructure provisioning and management? Your answer should be AWS infrastructure provisioning and management can be automated using services like AWS CloudFormation for infrastructure as code, AWS Systems Manager for automation and orchestration of administrative tasks, and AWS Lambda for event-driven automation of tasks and workflows. Our next interview question is: what is AWS Elastic Load Balancing and how does it work? Your answer should be AWS Elastic Load Balancing automatically distributes incoming application traffic across multiple targets such as EC2 instances, containers, and IP addresses to ensure high availability and fault tolerance of your applications. It provides three types of load balancers, that is, classic load balancer, application load balancer, and network load balancer. Our next interview question is: how do you configure logging and monitoring for AWS resources? Your answer should be: logging and monitoring for AWS resources can be configured using services like Amazon CloudWatch Logs, AWS CloudTrail, Amazon VPC Flow Logs, AWS Config, and AWS X-Ray. These services provide visibility into resource uses, events, configuration changes, and performance metrics. Our next interview question is: what is AWS Snowball and how is it used for data transfer? Your answer should be AWS Snowball is a data transfer service that enables you to transfer large amounts of data into and out of AWS using secure ruggedized devices. It provides Snowball Edge and Snowball devices that you can use to transfer petabytes of data offline to AWS data centers. Our next interview question is: how do you implement disaster recovery solutions in AWS? Your answer should be: disaster recovery solutions in AWS can be implemented using services like AWS Backup for automated backup and restore of AWS resources, AWS Disaster Recovery DR services like AWS Site Recovery, and AWS Storage Gateway for replicating data to a secondary region and designing multi-region architectures for high availability and fault tolerance. Our next interview question is: what is Amazon Route 53 and how does it work? Your answer should be: Amazon Route 53 is a scalable domain name system DNS web service that translates domain names into IP addresses and routes internet traffic to the appropriate resources. It provides features like domain registration, health checks, traffic management, and DNS-based failover for high availability and fault tolerance. Our next interview question is: how do you automate instance patching and maintenance in AWS? Your answer should be: instance patching and maintenance in AWS can be automated using AWS System Manager Patch Manager for automating and the patching of operating system on EC2 instances. It allows you to define patch baselines, schedule patching operations, and automate patch compliance reporting. Our next interview question is, what is AWS Elastic Beanstalk environment tiers and how do they differ? Your answer should be AWS Elastic Beanstalk supports two environment tiers: Web Server Environment Tier for web applications and Worker Environment Tier for background processing tasks. Web Server Environment Tier provides load balancing, auto-scaling, and web server configuration, while Worker Environment Tier is optimized for long-running background tasks. If you are preparing for any AWS-based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below.